Whoosh! Top of morning, ladies. My name is Chaz, and welcome to the custom card review. I know, the last custom card review that I did was basically the I decided to make this custom cards update. So, yeah, let's jump right into it, shall we? And so, same rules apply. I usually go for a very high number. So, yeah. The basically whatever I feel like. Now, and the reason why I'm making more of these custom card videos is because I'm still trying to process the story that will come out, and I know there's a couple people that would rather see Ben Tennyson what ifs, like basically see more powerful versions and all that stuff. But for now, I'm just doing this little update. So, and so the new update version of Bubble Tricks was, instead of 6 stars, it's 5 stars. And making him still have 7 stars, or level 7. Now she's a level 5 instead of level 6. Yeah. So, there's a reason. I was playing with the lore of this archetype. So, elemental villain Nexus. He's a dark, level 7, fiend effect monster. This card cannot be normal summoned or set. It must be special summoned by attributing 1 elemental hero Neos monster, and then so all of the other monsters on the field lose attack points. And this card can attack all monsters on the field. So yeah. And for once, and so this card gains attack for each destroyed monsters. So like, if he destroys 3, it would make him have 4,700 attack. And if this card is sent to the grave, you can shuffle this card into the deck. Destroy all monsters on the field to the graveyard. If you do, inflict 1,000 damage to your opponent's life points. Yeah. So this is basically a Wicked Dreadroot mixed with a Wicked Eraser, and yeah, and Neos combined. So, yeah. And then Bubble Tricks is now a level 5 a warrior effect monster. Reason why is because in the lore, she actually was dating him. So yeah. Sorry, I just had to cough real quick. So She has almost a similar effect to him, but it's the other monster. And she can select one card or select one monster on the field. The selected monster's effects are negated till the end of your next turn. And also, that so hold on, I'm trying to see. And its attack points get set to 0 until the end of your next turn. This card gains that selected monster's original attack points. This card this card is unaffected by card effects and cannot be destroyed by battle or by card effects. This card can attack all monsters on the field. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can select one elemental villain monster from your deck to be special summoned to your field, ignoring their summoning conditions. And then shuffle this card into the deck, and if you do, inflict 2,000 points of damage to your opponent's life points. So basically, this card, she always chooses him. Sorry if I'm really loud. So let's move on. So the Icebreaker Rex is basically a searcher and gains attack, and it can attack all monsters on the field per battle phase. This card cannot be destroyed by battle or by card effects. This card is unaffected by your opponent's card effects. Yeah. And then we got the Raging Summon of the Elemental Villains. You can select one monster in your opponent's deck, special summon it to your field in attack mode, ignoring the summoning conditions. If you do, inflict 1,000 points of damage to your opponent's life points. So, yeah, you could summon her by tributing one of your opponent's elemental hero. Yeah, and then if she gets destroyed, she can special summon him, or special summon him. So this card and this card would be perfect. And now the lore about these two. So she ends up giving birth to a new monster, a fusion monster, to their daughter, named Elemental Villain Strong Daughter. She's a light level 12 Beast Warrior effect monster. Or Beast Warrior Fusion effect monster. She requires 2 Elemental Villains monsters. If this card is special summoned, you can select one monster on the field, take control of it until the end of your third turn. If you do, inflict 3,000 damage to your opponent's life points. This card can attack all monsters on the field, or attacks all of your opponent's monsters. And that's on the field. This card is unaffected by your opponent's card effects, and cannot be destroyed by battle or by card effects. If this card is sent to the your opponent discards 5 cards from the top of their deck to the graveyard. Special summon this card to your field in attack mode. If you do, this card gains 2,000 attack points. You can only use this card's effects for once, you can only use each effects of Elemental Villain Strong Daughter for once per turn. So she mostly inherits her powers and his. To ridiculous level. Now, yeah, and this is a new card to the archetype. So, let me explain the lore. So, Elemental Villains is the between worlds. Elemental heroes and the evil heroes. Because the reason why it's between is because, one, normally the villains sometimes influence the heroes to become evil heroes, basically like villains. There's always that mellow line for anything. For stories, example, there's always that middle line before the character gets too overpowered. So, yeah. And so I was debating about giving them a princess fusion monster. Sure. Just like how I do Golden Lord of Love. Because it's a happy ending, not the sad ending. That's what I usually go for when making these cards. Going for happy instead of depressed. Yeah, so, yeah. So, if you guys don't know what these cards are, they're basically references. Basically how true love would work in weird ways. And this is just a fun archetype to make. So golden meaning of love, that if you control a Outledge, the Golden Lord, you can just destroy one face-up monster on the field during the end phase. You can banish this card from your graveyard, set a mixer spell or trap card directly from your deck. You can only use one golden meaning of love effects per turn. And only once that turn. If your opponent declares an attack on your Golden Lord monster on the field, while this card is in your banish zone, you can shuffle this card into the deck. And then negate it and banish it. So basically, yeah. So the Golden Lord ends up meeting everybody, like having, like, who would rule other worlds. And then we got Mistake of the Golden Lord. And if you control a Laundry Dragon Maid monster on the field, you can select one card from your deck or graveyard to be added to your hand. Destroy 3 cards from either player's fields to the graveyard. If you do, inflict 800 damage to your opponent's life points. You can only use each effects of Mistake of the Golden Lord for once per turn. So basically, the Golden Lord has noticed the Laundry Dragon Maid, and inside of his head, he wants to check on her, and then that happens to her, and so he wasn't mad, but he had kind heart. So now we're moving on to Kind Heart of the Golden Lord, where it's a fusion spell card, where if this card is fusion summon one fusion monster by using the materials from your deck or hand or field as fusion materials to the graveyard. If you do, then the fusion monster's original attack points gets doubled until the end of your next turn. If you have Outrage, the Golden Lord monster on the field, while this card is in your graveyard, you can banish this card from your graveyard. Special summon one Laundry Dragon Maid monster from your deck, graveyard, or hand, or banish them to your field in attack mode. But that monster gains 2,500 attack points. You can only use each effects of Kind Heart of the Golden Lord for once per turn. So, yeah. So, the Golden Lord respects, like, basically says to Laundry Girl that basically he confessed his love for her, and he made her the queen. So, like, Golden Lord of Love is a level 12 Dragon Fusion Effect monster with 300 attack and 4,400 attack or defense. You can use the Laundry Dragon Maid and the Golden Lord to make this card. If this card is fusion summon, you can select one card from your opponent's deck, banish that selected card to the banish zone till the end of the turn. This card can attack all monsters on the field per battle phase. This card is unaffected by card effects. And if this card is sent to the grave, you can special summon one fusion material to your field in attack mode. But the fusion monster loses 1,000 attack points until the end of the turn. So, yeah. So, basically, with all this effect, basically, he ends up protecting her at all costs. Yeah, that's why I use this spell card on him. Would be, he goes from 3,000 attack to 6,000. Yeah, and for his graveyard effect, is basically if it gets destroyed or tributed, you can special summon a fusion material, but its attack points get less than, by 1,000. Because if you summon, it could go down two paths. So, like, Outledge the Golden Lord, because this story is based on, like, love. And, yeah. So, if you go down the Golden Lord's route, he would end up with 1,000 points lower than his usual. And then we get, and if you chose the Dragon Maid, or Laundry Dragon Maid, then the, it could go either way, sorry. And, so basically, and now, so the story goes like, so he had a meeting with all these, like, noble war or kings and queens, and he notices the Laundry Dragon Maid, and she was doing laundry, and she accidentally ripped his cape accidentally. But instead of getting mad at her, she ends up treating her nicely. Like, he fixed his own cape thing without her even knowing it. And he was being all kind-hearted to her, and he confessed his feelings for her. And he's always been there for her, like, yeah. And then we got, so, like, during battle, Laundry Dragon Maid got killed. And that's why his effect of special so the fusion monster has the fusion material loses 1,000 life points, or attack points, I meant. Until the end, because so the Golden Lord ends up basically having a sad moment. So, yeah. That's why the Outledge, the Golden Lord of Madness fusion kicks in, and he just went crazy on all those people. And then he ends up realizing that there is a magical spell to bring her back, and So he uses it to revive his beloved laundry dragon maid back from the grave. So that's what the rejoin of the Golden Lord. If you control a Eldritch Golden Lord monster on the field, you can pay 1,000 life points. Special summon one Laundry Dragon Maid monster from your deck or graveyard or battlefield to your field in attack mode. But that selected monster gains 1,600 attack points. And also, both monsters can attack your opponent's life points directly per duel. So, basically, he used a magical spell to, like, revive her, but makes her stronger. And, yeah. And now here's a question for you guys. If you want to see a fusion of, like, their daughter, like, make their daughter a fusion monster to reference it, like how this card is, it would be crazy, yes. So, yeah. And now we're moving on to just add one more. How the evil, or no, not evil, elemental villains were born. From one card from this archetype, Talisman Split Tiger. Yeah, this one card gave birth to a full archetype. Like, imagine it being used for, and what I mean is basically in my personal reaction stuff in a weird duel, I was like, or it was an anime duel, so basically me versus Jaden, Yugi, and ends up he summoned, like, Elemental Hero Neos through the Fake Hero spell card. And I used this spell card, to take control of it. And so then it summoned the evil villain, or elemental villain version of that. So it's kind of referencing how it needs Elemental Hero Neos. And I used that spell card twice in 2 different duels. Or no, 3 times. Because Elemental Villain Nexus was the first duel that I lost against Jaden. And so when I was like in that universe thing, anime world, I just took a nap, and a new random card just appeared into my deck. Yeah. And second time I dueled him, he summons Restrinatrix out, and I used it to make an evil counterpart, like, not. And so, yeah, to create her. And so I won against him the second time. And then it basically, each one is references to like how many times that I dueled against. So then, like, the Icebreaker Rex is a super ultimate Tyranno, but it got infected by my spell card. So it created a. So each one of these have their original artworks, but it's reversed to represent like how each villain has like different powers. So yeah, it's a natural thing. Plus, then I was about to use the. I was about to use Flame Wingman, but somehow I ended up accidentally fusing these two to create their daughter. I'm like, this is new. What can you do? So basically, she took control of the Flame Wingman that Jaden and. Because it was a tag team duel for the final round. And I used her effect to take the Flame Wingman to my side. And for clarify, she's not drinking like any beer stuff. She's actually drinking a Dr. Pepper out of a bottle instead of a can. If you want to know, yeah. And no, she did not have a dagger, or she didn't have a like knife. That was actually the crystal that she showed off. And so in that duel, she says that I could show you. So then if this card is special summoned, you can select one monster. So she took Flame Wingman, and I was like, okay. So then I used her with him to tag into. So then I won the duel. It was 2 versus 1 duel. Yeah, it was just weird. So, yeah, if you guys want me to expand the more of a lore of the love story one, let me know down in the comments below, and peace out, Cub Scouts.